Alright guys, so we're going to continue our Excel VBA tutorial. If you have any questions, feel free to leave a comment below. Otherwise, I hope you enjoy these videos and hit that subscribe button. So what we're going to do, and do mind that some of the information is in Spanish. I'm doing these both in English and Spanish. But what we're going to try to do now, and it might take a little bit, but we'll see how much we get done. We basically have some data here. Sorry about that. And we're going to try to create different sheets with different state names. So we'll probably make a unique state name list, and then filter this data and copy those specific states into unique state sheets here. So we'll have a sheet for Arkansas, New Jersey, New York, Florida, and so forth and so forth. All right. I'm not sure if this is part of what I was trying to do one time. I don't remember if I actually got to do that. So, sorry about that. I'm using a Mac. So, on Mac, on running Windows, so you might see me fighting a little bit with my computer. But anyways, so basically, I have some filters. So we basically want to run the same macro here. Filters the information and copies these fields for Kansas. Anything that has Kansas, state of Kansas, any people that are from Kansas and their age, which is just regular data that I have, but you can make it whatever data you want. Sorry about that. I just want to take a look at this over here. Make sure we are still live. Here we go. Sorry. So, okay. For some reason my signal is not all the way great. We'll keep them on right now. Anyways. Okay, so that's the idea. We'll try to see how much we could fit in that logic. Okay, so we'll be using. Here I have two different type of buttons that you could insert within macros. Each has their own uh, benefits and negatives, but so let's get going. This is probably my second video here, so I might be a little bit. I'll try to make these videos a little bit better in the future, but bear with me at the moment. All right. So what we want to do is once we hit this button, or we'll create a new button that says generate data or output. And then basically we will filter this information, get a unique list of states, and then for each unique state, create a new sheet and filter this data and copy those relevant records or filter information from those states. Okay. Alright, so let's get started. We want to insert a shape here for the button, and I know these all look, we'll insert it here. So as a matter of fact, we'll copy this button here, Control copy, and we'll paste. So we should have another button here. And if you hit Alt, you should align these a little bit better. Maybe I should align this one. Okay, let's leave those two there. All right, and now we'll edit the text. And it says we'll call this output for now. So okay, so we're going to call this macro here, and it's going to create the sheets. All right, so the first thing we want to do is get unique names, and we'll output it onto a. We'll create a new tab. We name it, call it temp for temp data. And what we also want to do is, if we go to the VBA, my Mac, how do I get to my VBA? Let's go here, Visual Basics. We have temp here. We want to rename this temp. And this is a little tip that I've learned. If you rename sheets here, you're able to kind of quickly write temp and already activate that sheet. You won't have to say this workbook.sheet and then name temp. So that's one tip here. If you like get used to like naming most of your sheets, you just want to name main, output, temp. It will save you some coding, writing coding, making your coding so long and referencing different workbooks. So that's a little tip. Okay, so here we have a filter macro that filters the data and pays that information. So we probably want to use and then sorts it, sorts it ascending. This is not good. So we might want to take a lot of this. We might want to take the whole thing. Output clears. We're going to take a lot of it and we're just going to start tweaking it. Okay, so we are going to insert a new module. Let's create a new module. Let's paste this information. Okay, so we want to insert the name. I want to say sub. I don't know. We'll call it output sheets. Yeah, we'll just call it output sheets, and we'll need this at the end. Okay, and so we'll start editing the code as we go along. So again, we are using the main sheet first to. We have here clear filters, and we never did that. Okay, so first thing we want to do is, I guess we do clear the filter. I thought we did clear filters. Interesting. I'm not sure why I never clear filters. Well, first thing we want to do, we want to make sure, and we also want to rename this and say output macro so that we know which one we're referencing. Okay, so we want clear filters. So in order to clear filters, we want to say if main dot filter mode, then main dot show data, and we want to run this information first before we do anything else to make sure that we could clear filter. It's basically well, we won't run it. We will see it right here. So same coding that we have here. Oh, that's why. Whenever I go back to the main page, I clear filter here. So this is the coding that we just wrote, and it's a good piece of one line of code to have in to know whenever you need to manipulate data. You always want to make sure that the field or the range that you're manipulating is always clear of any filters. You don't want to be having like missing information. Now if you're copying and pasting, you're missing data, and if you're deleting, then you're clearing only a little bit of the information. You always want a clear filter. That's basically what we just applied there. Okay, so back to our coding. So that's the number one thing that we want to do. Now we want to take this column here, B1, one, and this is going to be dynamic. So we want to take this range right here, create a unique list on a temp tab here. Okay. The other thing that we want to do is always clear this temp tab. So we want to also clear temp tab, clear filter on main tab. Tab and sheets, we will use them interchangeably for like the same thing. Tab means like a sheet. Just like to use tab for like simpler coding. Main tab and clear temp sheet. All right, so now we want to go temp dot cells dot clear. So there we go. So we'll clear any data that we might have here. If we run, sorry about that. If we run the code up to this point, and we do it. Oh, we have an end width here somewhere. Width and a width, and we need a bigger and a width here somewhere. Okay, so let's continue hitting. Here we go. So if I hit, oh, I just ran the whole thing. Sorry. So there you go. We basically just cleared out the temp sheet, right? Which was one of the things I wanted to do. I also want to go back here. Okay, so that works. Now we want to range. We have a variable name range here, and we can use it. We could use it a couple of times. So in this case, we want to reference column B, and this is a dynamic range. So meaning that it would expand if you've seen my earlier video. Sorry about my coughing. I'm not sure what happened. If you see my early videos, if I keep on adding information, then my range will keep on expanding. It's a good coding for using dynamic range. So we're using a reference column here. It counts all the rows and then counts up and gives you that last row as your range. So it'll be a whatever it is, B1 to 1 to 20 and so forth. Like if you keep on adding information, your range will always grow. So we want to reference this range specifically for column B1 to 19. Well, we won't say 19, so we'll change this to B. Delete that, and we'll say B. And in this case, okay, we'll keep it consistent. We'll say reference range is the same. It's only one column. So column range column B, right? Now, once we have that range, we'll copy that range. So basically, range dot copy, and then destination that we want to copy is we will want to paste it in the temp sheet range, and we'll just dump it on A1. All right, and now we'll see if that works. We'll stop it up to there, and we go here. We'll see that we'll have this copied over here. So we've got this. So far we got that, and in order to show you guys that, let's take it back. If we go back here again, if we hit here, you'll see in the back that the temp tab gets deleted. And we want to say columns is just one column. So we want to say one, and then header, there is a header, so we want to say yes. So it does not remove the header. Minimize this a little bit here. Okay, so one thing is that this does not know that, I mean, this is going to remove anything from the main sheet because we have our with statement here. So we want to add temp here and also temp here. Okay, and then see if that works. So here we go. I know I'm going a little bit fast, but if you guys have any questions, feel free to jump in. We're doing a live stream on YouTube. You could join us or leave a comment below. Okay, so here we go. If I run this and remove duplicates, let's see what happens. Hopefully it doesn't blow up. I should save this. Normally I do save my work while I'm working, so that if I do make something weird and mess up my data, I could revert back. Alright, so here we go.